Good evening, everyone. Welcome to eCurious Mind Book Club. I would need your, as you all know, your permission for audio and visuals. Please show me a thumbs up for allowing me to post this on various groups on social media. And for people who are not showing me a thumbs up, choosing to keep their videos off, I take this as a yes. And the session will be led by Nisha Wahi, who is a veteran in the field, extremely knowledgeable. Chapter number 6 of The Power of Inquiry by Kat Murdoch. Here you go, Nisha.
I'll start, or do we need to wait for some more?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll briefly talk about the last time, chapter 5, which Purti began, and we very briefly discussed about the documentation. But I think with Kat Murdoch joining in, she did tell us and clarified few things for us. So now, building from chapter 5, I'm going to take you all to chapter 6, which is Assets for Life. It's more about approaches to learning as well as the dispositions. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with all of you.
Meanwhile, please mute yourself. Everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Please mute yourself.
Okay, so we are going to be talking about how can we nurture, how can inquiry nurture skills and dispositions for lifelong learning. And here the skills are the approaches to learning. Some of us must be knowing that with the new enhanced PYP, the dispositions are supposed to be embedded in the learner profile. So just keep that in mind. It is there, it is embedded in the learner profile. So you don't forget about it and you don't not do it. Okay, so just remember that whenever you are identifying which learner profile would you like to do with any task or a unit, try asking the teachers also to be able to identify the dispositions which will match it. And it's not restricted to the 12 dispositions which we had earlier in the making the PYP habit. You could build on things like, suppose you did have integrity, independence, creativity, but you could take up something as seeker, information seeker, okay? Or you could look at, you, I'm taking the session. Or you could take something like, other words like curious or confident. You'll have to come up with different dispositions like compassionate. People are compassionate, or sympathy, empathy, those kinds of words, okay? So this is a split screen by Guy Claxton. I'm sure you must have all heard his name. He speaks a lot about about the split screen. I want you to look at this because the next thing that is, you are going to be doing a task, and your content is you are going to learn about how do human actions impact the environment. And as thinkers, you need to be reflective and come up with solving problems. You need to be open-minded and you need to listen to others' point of view. Okay, so the task is going to be, I'm going to be sharing a story. After I share the story with all of you, you are going to be going into smaller groups and you will be doing the thinking routine, remembering that you need to come up with creatively come up with solving problems. And when you're working in the group, learn to be open-minded and listen to others' point of view. Okay, so I'm starting.
Grammarly just for the catch errors.
It's Karela in that, no?
Nisha, it's not clear.
Just a second.
No problem.
Click on share sound, and when you start the video at the bottom, it will say share sound and video.
Okay.
So click on
Optimize
those.
your
Put a,
video. Yeah.
Wait, I'll do it again.
For what it's worth, Grammarly can, yeah.
Welcome to my fables. Subscribe for more books read aloud. The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older. And the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house, but you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." My teeth are too weak for apples, said the boy. My branches are gone, said the tree. You cannot swing on them. I am too old to swing on branches, said the boy. My trunk is gone, said the tree. You cannot climb. I am too tired to climb, said the boy. I am sorry, sighed the tree. I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry. I don't need very much now, said the boy. Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired. Well, said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, while an old stump is good for sitting and resting, come, boy, sit down and rest. And the boy did, and the tree was happy. The end.
It's a beautiful story.
I'm going back to the PPT. I hope you remember your task. Your task, please have a look at it. You need to think about the human action and the impact it has on the environment. You need to come up with creative problems that can prevent humans to impact the environment, and you need to listen to others' point of view. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to use this thinking routine, connect, extend, challenge. How are ideas and information presented? That is the story connected to what you already knew. What new ideas did you get that extended or broadened your thinking in a new direction? What challenges or puzzles have come up in your mind from the ideas and information presented? So now we are going to be working in groups, and we'll come up with, you remember the learning intention, you remember what we need to be covering. So we'll split ourselves into groups and use the thinking routine, and let's write down few ideas under the thinking routine. You'll be given 10 minutes for the task.
So, Nisha, we are 25. Do you want 5 in a group?
Do you want to then do 20? Should we do 6 in a group, 6 or 7, so that we get more ideas?
So I'll create 3 groups or 4 groups?
I think 3 is better.
3?
3 is better. Okay.
Yeah,
create
3 is better.
All right.
So 7, like almost 7 in a group.
Almost 8. Oh, we have more
Yeah.
people who've joined. So 8 in a group. Okay, I'm opening the room.
Yes.
What happened, Sakina? Join the group. Sakina. Sakina, join the group, please. Can you hear me, Sakina?
He only thought about himself.
Padlet link so that we can put it down, the thinking routine on the Padlet only.
You want a Padlet link?
Yes.
I'll create one.
So Pallavi is here only.
I'll create one.
Okay, what else? When
There are
you're
a
doing,
lot of ways at looking at it.
yes, sorry. When you're looking at the thinking routine, you first need to connect to your prior knowledge, what you have. And then you need to extend and challenge yourself. And the most easiest way to do is put your ideas down for connecting, then extend, and then challenge. But I like to challenge my children. I tell them that whenever you write something for connecting, make sure you extend that piece and then challenge yourself with that same information. Did you get it? So suppose it's like humans have been destroying forests to build homes. How would you extend that knowledge? So what are the different ways that humans can also plant trees and make sure that they maintain a balance in their environment? How would you challenge that as a group? Probably I could think of different small steps in my school environment to ensure that we do not waste paper or resources that does not lead to destruction of more forest, things
to
like
put-
that. So with these thoughts, you are extending it and challenging yourself.
So it's like you
Sorry.
have to state a problem, you give a solution, and then you give an actionable solution to that, a strategy, and an action to that.
Yes, so if you look at the strategy is how did you connect to your prior knowledge? How would you extend your thinking? How would you go beyond it? I mean, from again, you follow the principle of known to unknown, and then you start thinking of ways of challenging yourself. So that's how you use the thinking routine. Now, thinking routine can be used in various ways. I mean, you can use it when you're finding out. If you all know the cat-mouse-dog circle, you can do it when you're finding out. You could also do it when you're sorting information. And you could also use it for self-assessment. So a thinking routine can be used at any step of the way. There's no, it's never fixed to, I need to use it during the finding out stage or need to use it during making connection stages. It depends on how you use your thinking routine. Okay, so let's start putting down our ideas. Again, we need to remember that we need to collaborate, be reflective, come up with ideas of solving the problem, as well as respect each other's point of view. Fiza, you were saying something?
So I said there are a lot of ways at looking at it, like we'll just find out the cause of why humans are cutting down the trees. So there are a lot of other ways that they think that they are developing is for self-development. There is a lot of construction for those purposes. People cut down trees. They do it, for their own benefit. So that is one way of looking at it. Although there is a lot of thought process behind understanding why they are doing it and also reflecting upon how they can again plant trees. That could also be one of the thoughts that came to my mind, how we can balance the ecosystem by planting more trees and finding more strategies to help the environment become better.
So that would come under what you've connected with, right? Connected your thoughts with the story, right? So you could put it down and connect. So Fiza, you'll write up?
Not made any Padlet right now.
I'm sharing. Give me a minute.
Okay, let's hear other ideas.
So I think
might
that, oh, sorry, anybody else going ahead first? Okay.
go ahead, Anupama, go ahead.
Okay, fine. So I can connect it to my prior knowledge of the cutting down of trees by the humans has caused a lot of climate change. I mean, we are definitely feeling the global warming. And that is the connection which I make. I'll just stick to the connection part, and then we can extend it, and then we can look at the challenge.
Monica was saying something.
Yes,
I've shared
Monica.
the Padlet. I'll go to the other groups.
Monica, you wanted to say something? Yes.
Yes. Yes. The challenge could be like how we are
let's
thinking
finish
of how
one.
to overcome with this.
Hello.
Yeah. So let's finish the
have a
extension.
I would like to.
You have a Padlet link. I've shared it in the chat and in your broadcast messages for the groups.
Yeah, so we can copy paste
Okay,
from here
thank you.
there. We can copy paste, finish it here, and then
Yeah.
paste it there. So we can say in extension first we
yeah.
finish the extent part, so that how corona is giving us lungs problem. Similarly, we are giving lungs disease to the earth by not taking care of the plants and sea life.
Also, apart from corona, I would like to add on under the extent that through researches also we came to know that
That the humans
Are making
Yes,
towards the
destroying.
environment.
are making towards the environment.
Hello. I've shared a Padlet link.
Okay, so we can put it on the Padlet. Yeah. What other connections are you able to see keeping those? We talked about environment also, no? Needs and
We
wants.
talked about the
environment.
selfish attitudes. We talked
Yeah.
about connecting to the attitude of being very self-centered.
So we can,
we
we
put
also
that?
know about global warming, right? So which is affected by the cutting down of trees. So we know about it.
Yeah. So now next one says extend. What is the question for extend? Can't see this. How is your thinking extended? No, it should be. Oops. Yeah.
First, empathy had come in.
No,
we extended it with the
Yeah.
thought of empathizing
So,
towards the
what
situation.
new
Yes.
ideas did you get that extended or
Yeah. So now
broadened
we
your
connect.
thinking?
Yeah. To be caring.
Transfer
So
your
we
thinking in.
Yeah. So we'll be.
Yes. To be responsible for the environment. Empathize.
Yeah. Empathize, be caring, and be responsible.
I remember writing that. Empathize, responsible, and reflective. Yes.
And what challenges or puzzles?
The 10 minutes got over.
Yeah. That's
Somehow you never finish it.
Always
yeah,
short
but
of time.
we could work
Always
at
have it.
least, with
Almost one.
More time.
But it happened automatically. So don't blame me. Okay? I haven't done anything.
Pallavi, not fair, huh? You didn't let us
I
complete a
swear.
sentence also.
I swear I haven't done it. It happened by itself. So computer's becoming very smart. I haven't done it. I was trying to save you all, but it started the countdown.
Okay, so okay, so now it's the time to reflect. I want each group to share their thoughts and ideas. Okay, when you're reflecting, I want you to keep these points in mind. Discuss what were your ideas, how did you go about with the thinking routine? Was the task easy? Did it get the desired results? What were you conscious about throughout the process? How were you better focused during the discussion? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. Do keep these in mind when we reflect. So I want each group to share their ideas.
Okay.
Anyone would like to go?
Yeah, my group. Yeah, group one. Yeah.
I think it has got vanished in that breakout room. We had shared a whiteboard and we were just placed our three sections of our thinking routine, and we were discussing and we were adding it as a joint group, modifying the sentences wherever necessary and taking the inputs from each of the member in that group. So like in connection, most of us felt that we knew the story, but we could connect to it because what we're seeing is now is the challenges that we are facing is all because of the choices that we have made in the past. So that's how as group we were just getting onto the extended part. We were yet to go into the further third step, but yeah, that's from group 1.
I would like to add to. Okay,
One
Miss
man
Meena,
could be
you can go ahead.
yeah. One man could be human being personified, and trees are nature. So in general, the mankind, the humans have been very greedy and very selfish in their approach, and that's how the nature has been always giving. So we personify and connected with that, and then we were trying to say that if we take 2 lungs of the earth, like how our lungs are suffered right now and we are very badly affected because of the corona, similarly the earth, if we don't take care, there are 2 lungs. One is plant life and one is the sea life, and both lives are completely devastated with the kind of approach we mankind have, like, and then challenges we were still to work on.
Yes, Sapna.
So, Miss Nisha, we had connected, like I did join in a little late, but yes, I could connect to my understanding, where we even look at the forest, the RA forest, where all 2,500 trees were supposed to be shedded down. And I think all protests had started from all over. Even the film stars came in the process of protesting. And that's how somewhere the Supreme Court could take a stand, and that's how we connected it. And plus looking at mankind, yes, again connecting our SDGs, we could have little connections. And did miss the last question on your screen, so I really didn't know what to add on. So if Miss Nisha, if you could tell me what's the last question, so I could just put in my idea.
So the thinking routine was connect, extend, challenge. How do you connect
Yes,
it
so
to your tribe?
Yes, so we connected that way. And when we are doing provocations like breathing exercise, the physical activities, so we come to know how we are getting this oxygen levels. And looking at this pandemic times, we are suffering due to all these things. The challenges what we are facing, to overcome that, we have a lot of drives coming up, changes us. Then we have this Pango Earth. So all these kind of drives are coming up to create awareness. So that's what, to my understanding, we could go ahead to overcome these challenges and keep people aware. And yes, I think human is that kind of nature which will drive into it and take an action, and we will see the change. So yes, thank you.
Anyone else? The second group, would you like to share?
Our group can take over because we really
Anisha,
worked on.
Anisha is sharing it, right, Anisha?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, under the connection 1, we connected it as if again looking at the story. So we were connecting as how these humans are actually impacting the environment. It includes deforestation, it includes the transportation. We should be more focused upon, like, let's say, carpooling and walking rather than going through the cars and everything. Coming to the extended part, ma'am, we actually figured out that we should be more empathetic, either if it's towards the environment or towards, though we are empathetic towards each other, but coming to the environment, sometimes we take it for granted. We should be more caring, we should be more responsible. The whole scenario, we extend it as if we should be more reflective, that whatever is happening, it shouldn't happen. So that way we extended our connect in that form. And though, ma'am, we didn't reach the level of challenge yet, and the time was up, but still, just while listening to you all, an idea came in my mind. That challenge for me is that, yes, we ourselves, because we are discussing, somehow we can follow the rules, but though I know it's said that a single man can bring a change, but sometimes I feel like more awareness. So the challenge is about awareing or bringing the people also along with you on the same track. not only like you taking an action, it should be that all of, not us, all the people, if in case together come into that scenario, that this is our mother earth, like the way we used to teach the kids, that the way we keep our house clean. Yeah. So the way we
Be
keep
more
our house.
collaborative in the actions that
Yes,
we take.
yes. Action taken, it should be is very, very important. The way we
Very
teach
important.
kids, it being a responsible citizen, that should be our thinking also. So that is a challenge, though people don't think it that way. So I think it's a challenging task. And keeping, ma'am, your questions in mind, the ones you shared, that reflection questions, which we have to keep in mind. I feel that while discussion, what challenge I feel was probably more time on elaborating the thinking strategy should be there, so that we can actually get it, because we were more struggling ki wo share karna kya tha, samajhna and everything. So probably once or twice more explanation should be given, so that we can think of, and more of time should be given, so that we can actually work on those things. So that was the thing of a reflection one, ma'am.
I would just like to add over here that we were reading the descriptors every time,
yeah, I
you know, what is there in the connect to better our understanding and then give a context.
Yes, thank you. I know this was a difficult thinking routine, but just keeping the all of you in mind, I thought rather than asking you to do the IC Think Wonder, just let me challenge you to look at another thinking routine and be comfortable in, because once we become comfortable using thinking routines, we can give it to our children.
Because I
Very right,
keep
Nisha.
hopping on from, sorry, I keep hopping on from group to group, so I'm really part of everybody. I have one thought to share. Maybe, you know, it might resonate with what we are trying to do. For me, I think when we talk of environment, everything starts with us. It's local to global. Where if we can practice minimalism, because what actually we are facing right now is scarcity, scarcity which has been created in the market because people are hoarding. So if we put it in ourselves, the concept of minimalism, and I think most of the problems can be solved there. We'll stop hoarding, we'll stop creating greediness, we can target on more of giving. So for me,
I guess
it's more minimalism.
Pallavi, I agree to it. Add to what Ms. Pallavi is saying, and in our group also we are discussing the same thing, that for connection is always about how you're connecting it to your prior knowledge and what it is all about. And extension is first to find out the reason for why is it happening, what is happening, and then probably you'll think about taking an action. So once you understand the reasons for why the trees are being cut, maybe then we can take it a step further and use our critical thinking skills to find solutions for the same. You know, okay, we can look at, as you said about, somebody said about minimalistic living, but then that can come as a creative thinking, right? I mean, I need to use a cloth napkin rather than tissue papers, you know, those small kind which a student can come up with. Those actionable steps can be taken at their age appropriate level. So that's similar to what Ms. Pallavi said, yeah.
I just wanted to add that Nisha's thinking routine, the reason you have a thinking routine is so that when you're thinking, you're making valid connections. It's not just about what did the story make you think about, but there is a bigger purpose, right? So what did the story make you connect with? What were your thoughts? And so wonderfully everybody sharing, so reflections, and then extend. I mean, what do you do with that knowledge? And then how do you challenge yourself? And that's exactly what Nisha was saying, that it makes you think critically, and it's also makes it visible. What was in your mind? What was the group thinking about?
Thinking
so that's
aloud,
why they're
basically.
thinking and visible to everybody. What was the thinking?
Right.
Yeah, challenges are very challenging. Like they make children think very deeply.
Yes.
Yeah, we were thinking, you know, beside the story also, we were, you know,
yes,
our mind. Yeah.
So it again comes back to the provocation. The story was just a provocation, maybe for children, And I think, you know, the thoughts that have come across like minimalism and, you know, how we connect with Corona are all at our age level, isn't it? So
the bigger ideas.
I have a question now. When I teach the little ones, how will I use this thinking skill on the little one? They
Thinking
are just 4-year-olds. This is good for a higher order kid who has the grades, higher grades. But Disha, how can I
Okay.
sort of use this technique in the little ones?
Can I,
So,
may I?
Sorry.
The 4-year-olds.
Yes, Kalpana, you could add.
I would request everybody, please,
Nisha,
Nisha,
you're on
let,
mute.
let Nisha answer this, please.
Okay.
And let's all mute ourselves. Nisha, please.
Okay, so I'm sorry, you're Billy. I'm sorry, I did.
Sorry, my name is Nivedita.
Okay,
I
Nivedita.
got the wrong name there.
Okay, Nivedita, you know, if you are doing thinking routine with the children, they can think very logically. Usually what happens is age 7, 8, when so much content comes in, you're not able to think critically. So doing it with the younger children, you'll have to actually break it down from there. So you'll do the first day. Okay, if you have seen a provocation, okay, so what is it that you already know, which is your prior knowledge? I mean, if you've seen the movie, probably they're going to say, you know, I like what the man is doing, or I have seen a tree being cut in. And that's what you're trying to get them to be able to, you need to know their thinking process. So it's not, the most important thing about the thinking routine is how are the children thinking is what you need to get them to do. And if you do thinking routine, you will see by the end of the year any thinking routine, and it can be done in any age group. You are on mute, Nivedita.
But how do I use this technique? I was just trying to connect to the whole thing. Because they basically won't be speaking much. So then they you know they just started talking, 4-year-olds. So to get that kind of thing out of them, I always wonder how we sort of do this.
They
For
can
them
even
to-
illustrate. They don't have to all the time write, right?
No, they're
They
not
can illustrate.
Pinterest strength, you know. I don't think
Or
they
whatever
have
in
that.
their way.
Yeah.
Don't give it to the children to do it. You need to do it with them. So if you're doing a provocation, I mean, if you've read a storybook or you've done a video or you do I Spy game, and then you try connecting it and start putting it down, illustrate it. Okay, what did you, made you think about it? Why are you saying it? Have you seen it happening anywhere? Have you seen this? So you start and you will be surprised. We all come with prior knowledge. I mean, in today's digital world, we all come with the prior knowledge.
Prior knowledge.
For every topic.
Yeah.
And that's what you're trying to do is making those connections, and as a homeroom teacher, knowing where your students are and then building from them, and that's where your differentiated learning comes. So suppose a child has never seen a tree being cut, so you know this child is not aware about it. And if there's another child who's actually seen a tree being uprooted, he's at a different level. So to bring them all to the same level, that helps you doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, try it
Thanks,
out.
Nisha. I'll try it out.
Nisha, it's
Yes.
already
May I
4:40.
May I add one last point?
Yes, please. Yes, Sapna.
Oh, okay. If you could cater to the lower age, maybe a story, like a caterpillar story, like a picture card, like a bingo. You could tell them, you know, okay, what does a caterpillar eat? Stage 1, stage 2. They're going to extend it, and then they're going to even think about it. So you could connect, extend, and what challenges they have seen through that story. So you're not only building up vocabulary, you're building up connection, you're building up how to overcome and how to even understand. So I think these thinking routines can be used at varied age level. So that's all.
Okay, any reflection about the desired task? Any thoughts, any ideas? Were you conscious about anything during the process? Did it help you to become better focused? My task was to ask you to come up with solutions. Were you able to come up with solutions? Were you listening to others' point of view? Okay, so that how are they learning? So this is the skills and the kind of learners, your disposition, that is the how and why of learning. And why do we need to know the how and why of learning? Is because we want the learners to be able to locate. They should know where to access information, where can they locate it, how are they building their understanding. Am I a good researcher? I learn better when I collaborate and talk to others. I learn better when I'm working on my own. It's very important for the children to know because it gives them agency. So as teachers, we need to be very conscious about it. How are they learning? And that's what, by the end of the year, the children should know how are they as learners and why are they learning, okay? It helps you to critique, and this is all students. It helps the students to critique, to design and plan for themselves. How can one strengthen the learning assets? Using specific language to teach. If you want the children to compare and contrast, say to them that I want you, if you're looking at the concept of causation, I want you to look at the cause and the effect of it. Why did it happen and what did it lead to? How did it happen and what will be the consequence of it? Use the specific language. Use words. Let's analyze and critique this piece of poem. Let's look at it together. Let's build on our understanding. Again, second point, reveal your purpose. Don't let it be the children. It should not be that when you do a provocation, the children are clueless what they have to do. And at the end of it, you ask me, what did you understand from it? But what were you? And then you have different answers coming all over. Give me the purpose. What am I supposed to do when I am doing the task? Okay. When you told me to watch the video, you beforehand told me that you need to come up with solutions. I look at the video knowing that I need to come up with solutions. I need to listen to others' point of views. Have the learning intentions as questions. That helps to build for the children to know how they are doing it. Be very clear. It should be very, very explicit. One must use the learning assets for goal setting and self-assessment. I mean, we all, if you have looked at the planner which was posted, there is a thing, learning success criteria, learning goals. So as teachers, you plan, and your learning goals, as I discussed last time, is derived from your curriculum. Children need to be aware about their learning goals. Once they know the learning goals, you co-construct it with them, and they can use it to self-assess themselves. Again, last time also she mentioned that the ATLs should be not only the generalist teacher's responsibility, the specialists as well as the generalist teachers should look at it. It makes it easier for the children to understand. It's not, it should not happen how when we were young, we used to jump from one period to another. And in our mind, nothing was connected. Everything was a compartment, math compartment, history compartment, geography, but it's all transdisciplinary. It's all, if I need to know the history, I need to know the location. The minute you look at the history of a place, and you start looking at the location, you'll come to understand more about it. I mean, if you look at the people of Afghanistan, You look at the location and then you understand the kind of tough life the people are living. It's interconnected. You can't put it separately. So it should not be just the generalist teacher, the specialist also should be a part of it and take it beyond school. I mean, you can take it, get the children to take it home, put it in your newsletter, discuss it with your parents. You could have it as a weekly assignment, a monthly assignment, and that's what you need to do. And I come to the end of the presentation. It was a very short presentation, but that's the gist of the whole chapter. Questions?
Nisha, this was beautiful. Very easy to understand, actually.
Yes.
Thank you.
Actually, the chapter was very easy.
Thank
it was
you.
a beautiful chapter. And Kat Modoc was a prior knowledge for us. What she spoke about, it was just being carried forward in the other chapters. I think she came at the right time to lead us to further discussions.
True, true.
Any questions? Anything?
Thank you, Ms. Nisha.
Sapna, don't call me Miss Nisha. I'm just Nisha.
It was very well explained.
I will put this on the Padlet link. I mean, I'm just going to, do what? I'm going to put both my PPTs on the Padlet link. You can use it.
Nisha, also email me so that I can put it in the Wacklet portal. So whatever information I've been getting, even Purti, if you can send me your PPT also, I'll upload in Wacklet. I had
I will do that.
I'll sequence it and put it.
Yeah, I'll right away put this and the previous PPT because it's a continuation on the Padlet. Anybody can access it.
Next week again, are we
Thank
meeting
you
on
so much.
Saturday?
Next Saturday, yes, I think so. There's nothing next Saturday.
Yeah.
So next Saturday,
22nd also, there's something of total, right?
There's something on chapter also. It's about assessment. It's J.
McTighe.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice session. You could have. I mean, it talks
Chapters
about,
International.
Yes.
It's at 4:30, but the
Chapters
timing
International.
it doesn't clash. It's 4:30.
a lot of webinars are coming from chapter.
Yeah.
Yes, on the 22nd, it is on assessment, what, why, and how. On the 22nd at 4:30. So we can again, to avoid this, do you want to again meet on Friday?
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or Saturday, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Friday is fine.
That's a day.
Friday is good because Friday.
Yeah, because if the ones who are attending chapters, it'll become back to back. 2 o'clock if you attend, and then again 4 o'clock. It becomes too much of screen time and too much of, to attend back to back
Overload,
such heavy
overload
sessions.
information.
Exactly. So if you meet on a Friday, it just eases it out.
So Friday 4 to 5.
Yeah. 4 is a
Yeah,
good.
no worries.
Fine.
We'll do Friday 4 to 5.
4 o'clock is a good time. Yep.
Chapter number 7.
4 o'clock is a good time.
You had a question about what needs to be done with the planner. The planner was shared just for you to understand how the success criteria as well as the subject focus is brought into the planner. The different disciplines. So for that reason, it was shared. You can just have a look at it.
So you shared the planner?
I did share it. I shared the planning part of it. It does not have much about the reflection because the teachers are doing the unit. It's there on that Padlet.
Nisha, when you spoke about putting learning intentions as questions, because what I do, I co-construct with children, and if it is a writing task, they write the learning intention. Is it all right if they write it as a question?
It needs to be written as a question.
Or what I do, I pick up taxonomy.
Suppose if you are formulating questions to ask a guest speaker, how will I formulate questions to speak to a guest speaker? So it just tells me, well, as a researcher, as a, you know, it just helps to build on the skill. Always remember your learning intention, or what you're trying to do is to make them pay attention to the skill that they would require to do that task. So if it is a writing task, what is it that you are expecting them to do? Sequence it? Are you asking them to follow the sequential order? Follow, I mean, if it's a
Identify words, interpret. So I pick up all these works from Bloom's taxonomy to create, and that's what I have also tuned my children into it. That what are we trying to do?
Can I just add?
Can I?
If you look at it, this page has the intention that you can do. So suppose as if you
there are a lot of words in it, which I was actually going to tell that.
Can I just add? I don't know. This is the exercise we do. Am I audible?
Yes.
So for example, the story which Nisha showed about the tree. So your learning intentions are because we were like in our group, we were discussing about cause and effect. We were thinking of environment, or what else were we looking at? Third one. So if you want to ask questions, your learning intentions are
the impact we are talking.
Yeah, impact. Yeah. So the impact of trees. So then your questions will come. We want to understand. Then you formulate your questions. Your learning intention, in order to know what the impact of questions are, we will find out how are we going to find out how trees can be done, those kinds of questions. Then you do your keepers and throwers. Like, you know, you keep those which are conceptual, which are debatable. So get those questions out. In order we understand about fairy tales, or you want to know about toys or transport, are learning intentions. So your learning outcomes, you know, you would know how to formulate questions then. So if you
May
want to
I
know
add
about
something?
Yes.
So when I was looking for this split screen learning online, so I came across few examples, like you know, in the form of how can ATLs and learner profiles be brought into this. So when you're doing, so one or two examples were when you're learning about, say, you know, the question would be, what are we learning about? So it would be similes and metaphors, suppose, in English. Then what are we learning to be? So how would you use your learner profile attributes over here? So I'm learning to be a thinker because I have to think of words that can, you know, that we can use to compare. I'm learning to be a communicator, to express our ideas and in writing and speaking. I'm learning to be creative. So this is how, you know, they are making their thinking visible of what they are learning about. And what skills would you develop in order to understand this? That would be the next question. So they would say, I'm using my thinking skills here, I'm using my creative skills here. So those are few kinds of examples which were given. Like it was about division. If you're learning about division, what are you learning about? It's division. But what are we learning to be through this? Like being a thinker, being a, you know, having commitment, not to give up easily, being an inquirer. And again, what are the thinking skills you are using? You are using your thinking skills and connecting multiplication to division. So these are few questions we could ask them.
So continuing with what Ashrafi said, if I may share how a triple split screen is used, about the how, what, and why. Somebody else is speaking. Yes, please go ahead.
No, Chandra, please carry on. Guys, please raise your hands and put yourself on mute, please. Chandra, please carry on.
So I want to share something a teacher of our school has done using the triple split screen, and exactly how what Ashrafi was talking about, you know, that what is the content area, what is the skill, and what is the disposition. And I think somewhere in one of the sessions I had talked about it. So I just want to share that. Just give me a minute. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this is, I think, for, can anybody see? I can't see. It's for a unit of inquiry. So tuning in. So the teachers put in the inquiry cycle also within this. Know, understand, and do. Brought the KUD also, so that, you know, it's very clear. What am I gaining knowledge of? What part? How am I developing understanding? And I learn to do. This is something that is done with the children. It's totally driven by the children. And in a physical environment, you know, the teachers put up a chart like this and children keep filling it, especially this is from grade 4. So let's say, they were tuning in, observing changes that happen in material during Diwali and daily life. So what are you getting knowledge about and how will you understand better? By doing experiments. What did you learn? So again, here, the concept of change, transformation, this is, I think, got to do with matter and how it affects the environment. So I'm just moving on to the next block. So this continues, this triple split screen is throughout the unit of inquiry. So if they've discussed about common changes, irreversible and reversible changes, how did they, learn? They sketch noted, maybe as a tool, discussion, watch videos, and then the ATL is listed here, formulating and planning, data gathering, recording, synthesizing. And again, the related concept of transformation is still being addressed. So if I may go on, let me look at something. Art integration. Now, art also got integrated here, how natural material and colors and how do materials and tools work. So this is some part of going further, I guess. And how did they work around it? How did they learn about it? And for what reason? To become more knowledgeable, what are, understanding of, research skills in the field of visual art. So this is a teacher's work, which I've just shared.
Thank you so much, Chandrai. Thank you, Nisha.
I hope it gives some clarity. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll all see you again on Friday, 4 p.m., 4 to 5 p.m. Chandrai is going to mentor me, and both of us are going to take the session. So see you.
Yeah.
Bye.